For centuries, European monarchs legitimized their rule through an unbroken, pure bloodline.
Health was transient, but lineage was eternal. Only legitimate blood ensured stability, preventing the chaos of succession crises in the realm.
The line of inheritance was often a cycle of close relations. Dynastic marriages among European royalty frequently led to inbreeding.
Strategic alliances were crucial for consolidating power among nobles. Papal dispensations allowed close...
It was women who bore the true burden. Through them, the bloodline survived, connecting past generations to the future.
In the medieval view, heredity was governed by the humores and sanguis. These
As it is written, so shall it be done, through divine dispensation.
They silence us by controlling the narrative, ignoring our pain, and limiting our access to.
the extreme inbreed practiced by the Habsburg dynasty.
The consequences of their lineage were cruel. Generations of inbreeding manifested as the wasting sickness.
Facial deformities and chronic illnesses are medical conditions that affect appearance, but they do not define a person's worth or capabilities. Between 1950 and 2020, the rates of miscarriages and infant mortality have shown a sharp and alarming rise.
When the system falters, the easiest solution is to find a scapegoat. And all too often, the blame
The court physicians, masked in ignorance, prescribed useless remedies.
While the truth was grim, the scribe meticulously crafted a glorious fiction, ensuring the dynasty's projects. While the Habsburgs are well documented, another prominent example of systematic inbreeding can be found much earlier.
Our treaty with the alliances secures the northern borders. This match is vital for the stability of the realm.
As we trace the lineage, we can observe how specific genetic disorders, whether dominant or recessive, are passed down from...
Behind the portrait of a perfect family, mental struggles were often ignored, left to fester in the shadows.
The gilded cage of royalty offered security but demanded separation. She could observe the vibrant...
We transitioned from viewing women as individuals with distinct roles, like the scholar or the worker, to reducing...
I saw her leave his chambers just before dawn. The scandal, if that were known.
Indeed. Smile, my dear. Someone is watching us.
The breakthrough came when they compared the map against the astronomical data.
The patterns emerged instantly.
Despite the finest physicians, the childhood illnesses that swept through Europe often struck the royal nurseries hardest.
Political pressure, masked as community values, forced countless young women into premature motherhood.
The strain of labor is proving too much. For women with this rare genetic disorder, childbirth is a life-threatening event.
For centuries, childbirth was a perilous journey. Without modern antisepsis, infections spread.
The genetic decline stems not from us, but from the weaker sex.
Precisely. The inheritance laws must reflect this biological...
Silence is the loudest weapon of authority. When the people are denied a voice, power remains absolute and unchallenged. Their names are largely forgotten, yet their faces tell a story of lineage and the hidden costs of inbreeding among the European aristocracy.
We will not stand by while the throne remains vulnerable. The absence of an heir voids your claim.
This is treason.
Here, in the halls of power, usefulness is fleeting. And when it fades, some are simply left behind.
Remarriage within the family significantly worsened genetic damage. This is primarily due to the increased risk of inheriting recessive disorders when the gene pool is restricted.
History shows that the fear of losing power is often the greatest conduit to necessary social and economic reforms.
Inbreeding concentrated their power, yet eroded their vitality, leaving the empire vulnerable and stagnant.
In the rubble of conflict, it is often women who bear the heaviest burden, paying the highest price of all.
Modern genetics bridges the gap between past hardship and present biology, revealing how the echoes of history are written in our DNA.
Using specific enzymes, we can cut the DNA at precise locations. The resulting fragments are analyzed using gel sheets. Because close relatives share more DNA, they are more likely to be carriers for the same recessive conditions. When two carriers have children,
when we apply the precision of genetic science to the tapestry of human history, the patterns of our shared ancestry emerge.
As genetic science advanced, the simplistic myth of pure blood was shattered, revealing the intricate diversity of human DNA.
The tragedy of royal women is that they are sent into the storm unwarned, unprepared for the waves that seek to consume them.
Internalized blame became her crown, a silent anguish hidden behind the velvet curtains of duty.
In a world where dissent meant death, obedience wasn't a choice. It was the only means of survival.
From healthcare access to reproductive rights, women's bodies remain battlegrounds in the ongoing political struggle for control and autonomy.
For a dynasty, an heir's survival was paramount, their personal health secondary to the succession.
History rarely remembers the mundane. Instead, it romanticizes the suffering of its royals.
While the settings change, from ancient stone to digital abstraction, the core human drama remains.
It is an affront to the Church.
The ordinances forbid this union.
As decreed in the year 1245.
We must consolidate our forces here at the river crossing.
If we hold this position, their advance stalls.
It is a grave risk, but I agree. We must resist.
Enlightenment thinking challenged tradition by questioning authority, emphasizing individual autonomy, and advocating for objects.
Utilizing advanced medical visualization, we can pinpoint genetic mutations. This allows us to trace how
decline inevitably forces change. As the old industries fade, a cleaner, sustainable future emerges in the golden light of a new dawn. History remembers the triumphant ruler standing in the light,
yet often forgets the victims whose suffering is relegated to the shadows.
For their unwavering dedication, their visionary leadership, and their strength in the face of challenges, they deserve recognition.
The suffering of the past generations was not in vain. It fueled the knowledge and innovation needed to build this sustainable future.
The myths of purity, once tied to the divine and ritualistic cleansing, have evolved into secular obsessions.
As the title suggests,
the female body has long been a site of struggle, controlled by legislation and defined as property throughout history.
They genuinely believed that their lineage, their sacred blood, was the ultimate source of their legitimacy.
Blinded by thy dynastic pride, the king refused to see the truth.
In the quiet act of remembrance, we restore the dignity of those we lost, ensuring their memory shines brightly.
They adopted the titles, but the duties of royalty never truly suited them. Mundane tasks always called them back to reality. They are not relics of the past. These stories are essential guides, illuminating the surveillance.
The intersection of science and history is where the past informs the future. Ancient discoveries laid the groundwork for modern breakthroughs.
Education provides the fundamental knowledge and critical thinking skills necessary to break cycles of repetition and drive progress forward.
Empathy bridges the gap between idealized fantasy and authentic, lasting love, mending what was once broken.
When historical silence is finally broken, the truth emerges not as a whisper, but as a blinding, unstoppable force.
We must remember the suffering, for in doing so, we acknowledge the fragility of humanity and find the resolve to endure.
History must confront its darkest practices, not to wallow in shame, but to understand the roots of conflict and ensure a more just future. Bound by the curse of their pure blood, these women were broken, then forgotten, sacrificed upon the altar of power.